Hey VC, what's up? It's Todd Guy, the Thrashing Zombie here. This is continuing my video series of my 50 years of my favorite albums. Yeah, that's it. I think so. This time is 1981. I don't know how many albums here, not a whole lot, maybe 6, 7, 3, 4, 5, 7. So, if you've been watching this series, well, first off, this is the second cup of coffee I've had in 2 weeks. I don't know, I kind of lost my taste for it. Still doesn't taste the greatest, but anyway. Started from 1973 going into 2023. 50 years of great music. Trying not to do more than 10 a year. So, and it's only for albums I physically own as on vinyl, CD, or cassette. If I love an album but I don't own it physically, it's not going to be included. So let's just start this. This is not really in alphabetical order, but first up is Black Sabbath, Mob Rules. This is the second album with Ronnie James Dio on vocals from 1981. Obviously, it's got the Sign of the Southern Cross on here, the Mob Rules, Voodoo, Turn Up the Night. What else? Falling Off the Edge of the World, E5150, Slipping Away, Country Girl, Over and Over. Everybody says that Heaven and Hell is the superior Ronnie James Dio album. I could agree with that, probably, yes. This one has more, the bass is more there in your face, whereas the other one is kind of just more subtle, but this one is heavier on the bass sound. The low end is pretty high on this, but this is a fucking great album, you know. Alright, next up, The Cars, Shake It Up. I've always been a big fan of The Cars. I mean, a lot of their stuff sounds kind of similar in a way, but, you know, it was the 80s and everybody's kind of doing the same shit. Since You're Gone's on here, it's a great song. Shake It Up, I'm Not the One, Victim of Love, Cruiser, A Dream Away, This Could Be Love, Think It Over, and Maybe Baby. Since You're Gone, it's really the only huge hit that I know of on here. But great band, I think. New wave from the 80s. A lot of hits, a lot of albums. Not a lot of albums, maybe, what, 7? 7 albums? 8? I don't remember. But yeah, Cars, great album there. Ozzy Osbourne, Diary of a Madman. It's a good album. When I was younger, listening to Ozzy, I always preferred, Blizzard of Oz, always going to be like the best Ozzy album from the 80s, hands down, in my opinion. When it comes to this one and Bark at the Moon, I always preferred Bark at the Moon. So many people say this one's better. I mean, it is a good album. It's a very good album. It's got Over the Mountain, which is great, Flying High Again, You Can't Kill Rock and Roll, Believer, Little Dolls, Tonight, SATO, and the title track. But 80s Ozzy will always be the best, right up until, not Miracle Man, No Rest for the Wicked. I mean, No More Tears, it's a good album, but then he's going more, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for, more 90s sound. But yes, This is an awesome album. One of my favorites from 1981. And then we got Pretenders. Actually, no, it's just called Pretenders. This is their second album. Got The Adulteress, Bad Boys Get Spanked, Message of Love, I Go to Sleep, Birds of Paradise, which is pretty good, Talk of the Town, Pack It Up, Waste Not, Want Not, Day After Day, Jealous Dogs, English Roses, and Louie Louie. Nice, I consider them kind of a punk band, rock punk, pop, not pop punk, rock punk, sort of. Yeah, I said this a few times before that every time like a Pretender song would come on MTV or on the radio, I'd say, well, I don't really like this, change channel or whatever. But actually, I really do like the Pretenders. They are a good rockin' band. I think it's more that I'm not a huge fan of her vocals, but I've grown to like them. So, there's that. Def Leppard, High and Dry. And again, as I was a teenager, getting into metal, listening to older stuff from the early 80s, when I wasn't really into music. I didn't get into music a lot until 86, 87. But going backwards in bands' discographies and listening to, originally I started listening to Pyromania, and I went backwards to this and the other one there. I don't remember the name of it. But anyway, and now I listen to it now and I have more of appreciation for these earlier albums by these bands. You know, it's got Let It Go, Another Hit and Run, High and Dry, Saturday Night, which is great, Bringing on a Heartbreak. I remember seeing that video on MTV. Switch 625, Me and My Wine, Bringing on the Heartbreak remix. This must be a reissue. You Got Me Running, Lady Strange, On Through the Night, Mirror Mirror, Look Into My Eyes, and No, No, No. It says it was remixed February 1984. Yeah. So, there's that. But yeah, this, from that year, one of my favorite albums. Def Leppard, High and Dry. And of course, wouldn't be one of my favorite album videos, without showing a Blue Oyster Cult album. This is Fires of Unknown Origin. Probably their biggest album. It's got the song Burning for You on here. Let's see, it's got Fire of Unknown Origin, Burning for You, Veteran of the Psychic Wars, which is amazing, Soul Survivor, which is great, Heavy Metal, The Black and the Silver, also great, Vengeance, The Pact, After Dark, Joan Crawford, which, amazing that song, Don't Turn Your Back. But, yes, this is probably their biggest album. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but this is probably, ooh, I need to fix that. One of my favorite Blue Oyster Cult albums as well. Along with their second release, I think it is, Tyranny and Mutation. I love that album as well. So, Blue Oyster Cult, Fire of Unknown Origin. And then we got Tom Petty. This is Hard Promises. It's got The Waiting on here, which is a big hit. It's A Woman in Love, It's Not Me. Night Watchman, Something Big. King's Road, Letting You Go, A Thing About You, Insider, The Criminal Mind, You Can Still Change Your Mind. I think the first 2 songs are probably the biggest hits on here. Tom Petty is one of those artists where some of his stuff is kind of like out there a little bit. It's not really songs I really like a lot, but there are a few songs in each album, and this is probably one of those albums that I like a lot. Alright, lastly, Van Halen, Fair Warning. I don't hear this talked about that much in the VC, but it's got Mean Street, so this is Love, Push Comes to Shove, Sinner's Swing, Unchained, which was a big hit, Dirty Movies, Hear About It Later, Sunday Afternoon in the Park, which is this weird kind of instrumental, kind of dark sort of song, and One Foot Out the Door. All I knew from here was Unchained, I think, and maybe Mean Street. And I listened to the whole album and I was just like, wow, this is a lot different than all their other albums. And then I read up on it, and it was because I think Eddie wanted to do something less poppy or something a little bit darker than they normally would. And then after this, they went back to the upbeat kind of party rock sort of that they usually did. I think this ranks right up there with their debut as one of their better albums, honestly. I like the cover too. It's just kind of strange, so it makes it lets you know it's going to be a bit of a darker record than their other ones. And that's it. That is all of the albums. I'm sure there's more. I just didn't choose either because I didn't have them, or I just didn't want to do a huge stack of records, because maybe into the mid 80s, into the 90s, it's gonna get bigger, because I had a lot of favorite albums in the like 86 into 90s or so. So we'll see. But anyway, thanks for watching. Till next time. I do appreciate everybody that watches and comments on my videos. Thank you for making it to the end. Till next time, rock on.